So I suppose I still haven't really explained what I'm doing here. So I thought, in addition to my daily quarantine vlogs, I thought I'd give you a quick roundup of why I'm here. So Bex was able to fly back here to China on the 21st of August because her school managed to get her a PU letter. By the PU letter, then she was able to come back. She had to quarantine in Guangzhou because at the time the flights, there wasn't enough coming to Shanghai, so her school took her to there, and then they all flew back up to Shanghai after their quarantine. So essentially I'm doing my quarantine, but I'm doing it here in Shanghai, which is where I live, so that's perfect. So that's what I'm doing just 4 months later. So obviously really looking forward to seeing Bex because it's been 4 months nearly. So it's been quite a while. So Becca's made a video about how to obtain a PU letter. I made one about obtaining mine, and then the COVID experience of like flying, of how to take your COVID test and get it in time, because we found that really quite difficult. So those videos kind of explain the process of how to get out here. In China, you can do 14-day quarantine, or some people get the option of doing 7 plus 7. So you do 7 days quarantine in a hotel like this, like I'm in, and then 7 days in your own apartment. It goes to a committee, like a neighbourhood committee, and then they decide. And unfortunately, mine was declined, so I'm doing all 14 days here, which is fine. I was kind of expecting that anyway. So getting off the plane and to here was a new experience, obviously. So the plane landed, I had about 30 minutes. The flight attendants had checked our temperature about an hour before landing, with the little guns, and then the hazmat suits came on when we landed. They took us off one by one, and then row by row, and then you go through to, like, they're almost like little booths. They give you like a sheet of paper, and that's like your declaration. It's got your own QR code on it, and it's got your own little barcode. You then have to do your health declaration. You show them that, which is red, and it stays red until after your 14 days quarantine, and then it goes green, and then you can roam around in China. So I had that. I had another man with a gun as well in that little booth, and then you go on to the next area. Obviously it's a well-oiled machine in China, because they've probably been this whole process for the longest when you arrive. So we walked through to the next section. You show them your little slip of paper, and then they give you a test tube. They scan your things. You go through to the next thing. Another man waits for you, scan that, go through, and then you are queuing up outside, and it's all like tunneled, so like normally you'd be able to go different ways, but this you're forced to walk through and snake around and go through all these various checkpoints. Then you have the COVID test. There was a guy next to me, and he was like, "Ah, ah," and so obviously that made me worried. Obviously I've done 2 back in London for the actual flight, but he was really putting me off, and the woman was like, "Oh, don't worry, it's fine." And then as soon as, God, she was probably touching my skull at this point, I got eyes watering, and I was like, "Ah." I wasn't that bad, but I could understand his pain. It's not too bad. It's easy. It's fine. After that goes another man, scans another code, and then you get to customs. You just go through that normally. You've got to do your landing boarding card, say where you live in and stuff. Obviously I put my address, and then I go through to baggage, and then baggage is just like normal, although empty. Pick up my stuff, and then you go through, and you go to another person or you tell them where you live. So I live in Shanghai, and so I told him that, and then he takes you to a different place, and then you're in that little group of people. There was a girl that I sat next to on the plane who was very helpful with me. She's quarantining in Jing'an, which is just the neighbourhood next to me. So I grabbed her and she came over and helped me translate to the guy of where I was going and stuff. Very helpful. So then I had to wait about half an hour. Then you go through, you got to scan all your stuff once more, and then the guys in the hazmat suits then take you onto a coach. There was just 2 of us on ours going to Shanghai, and then I think they picked up a few more people from maybe another terminal, but still there's very limited amount. And then you arrive at the hotel. You then have to sign a few things, scan a few more documents. You get given all your stuff. Like I was given these 2 just in case I was extra hungry, because the meals have been great. Yeah, and then you get to come to your room, and then been here since. Obviously on the 23rd, so in 9 days, my QR code will go green, and then I'm free to roam around in China. So that's just a quick roundup of why I'm here, actually getting off the plane and getting to the actual apartment. Oh, it's an apartment. It took around 4.5 hours to get from landing to here, which in all fairness is quite quick really, because maybe an extra 2 hours than normal, because even just driving from the airport to Shanghai would be about an hour. So a very well oiled machine, I think. So no problems with that. Obviously I was knackered on the first day because I couldn't really sleep on the plane, but it is what it is, travelling long distance, isn't it? Obviously you can watch all my quarantine videos as I put them out, but I just thought this might be a bit more of an in-depth one, explaining the situation, explaining the process of getting off the flight. All very good. Yeah, enjoy the rest of my videos. Like and subscribe, please.